Love, blessings, peace, and prosperity. My love, what is good in your world? Come on in, grab a cup of cafecito or tecito, get comfy. My name is Nicole P. I'm 52. I love talking about all things spirituality, wellness, and like creative endeavors and small business. I love talking about all that stuff. And I am making a commitment. I'm not making, I made a commitment to be devoted to showing up consistently on this channel to be able to share some of my insights and reflections as a 52-year-old doing this dance called life. And, it's just like, it's really a great way to get out of my own headspace in my own way and just pressing play and talking into the mic. I got a little headset here. So definitely total customer service advice line vibes. My friend who retired at 54, bless their soul, had a lot of different pieces of equipment laying around from their last job and passed it along. So I'm really liking it. Like I said, total like midlife advice line. How can I help you? Total vibe. Okay, so this video, like what I want to share today is like a really huge insight that I think it may be of value to you. Whether you're a Gen Xer like myself, starting over, or picking up the pieces, expanding upon what you already started, or maybe you're like a young folk that's like looking up to us elders, trying to get some advice on something, like tap into all of our wisdom. Either way, I think this is something that could be of service to you. And if not, it's like just a way to hear, just sit down and listen to what I got to share with you. Because that's the way so much we learn is from each other's stories, right? Well, let me tell you something. Now, here's a touch of a background. Like, I've always had a job, but outside of my job, I've always side hustled, right? And I haven't had the like astronomical success as I have wished. And, I've done the reflections, I've done the work, and I understand, I've lost money, I've lost time. Did I really lose time? No, not really, because you always learn from something. But money, yeah, that's another story. But, I've been on this journey for some time, and a lot of it has been lack of consistency, impatience, a deep-seated belief that it's possible, and of course, there's other aspects like access to certain resources, et cetera, et cetera. But here's one of the biggest mind shift things that I had to, one of the different mind shifts that I had to make, and it just really like clicked almost recently, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's the beauty, right? We get to tell our stories. And at 52, right, we're learning so much. Like I am at 52, other people in their 50s or in their 60s are learning so much about ourselves. Like we're learning so much about ourselves and we're changing ourselves and we're still like growing, right? We're taking like a different course of action. We're not staying the same. And that's the beauty of being alive in these times. So here's the thing is I used to really get caught up in like this energy of like why not me? And it wasn't the like, but why the fuck not me type of energy. Like, I got this. It wasn't that. It was more like the bratty, like throwing a tantrum. Like, why not me? How come they got it? Like, why not me? And I would get so caught up in that. And, part of it is I got heavy Leo placement. So I always like to have the attention. And I always like, I'm expecting to like everybody throwing flowers at me and like being the star, right? So like there's a tantrum when I throw tantrums, and, that really, really messed me up, right? Because then what happens is like I would get so caught up in like, why not me? And I would be a little bit like resentful or envious. That's just not good, right? It's okay to acknowledge like if you're jealous or envious, like, okay, and then you're like, okay, I got to check myself, right? Because when that happens, it's because you want something, right? Someone else has. Um, and so I had to really shift that. And then I had to acknowledge the toxicness of me like throwing them tantrums, right? And just like, wait a minute. Okay, like that could be me if I committed and if I did my consistency, if I showed up and I really worked on my deep seated beliefs. Like if I had to rewind, I think I would have been in therapy. I'd be mid 30s or early 40s. I wish I really wouldn't have went into therapy. I think I'd be a lot further along. I should have gotten a therapist, but no, I was hard headed. I could figure everything out myself. I could heal myself, all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing is when I made the shift from saying, oh, like throwing them tantrums and like, why not me, right? But being like, why me? why me? Like, why should I? Why should I have the success? Why should I have access to these resources? Why should I be, so magnificently successful? And not in a way like, why me? Like, there's like, I'm like, why me? Like, little poor little me. But more of the things like, it allowed me, what it did is it made me get in the mindset of just going, like, wait a minute, let me point out my brilliance. So it was more of an empowering question, like, oh, why me? You know why me? Because I am the shit. Why me? Because I have really great ideas. Why me? Because this. Why me? Because of that. Why me? And I started just really listing out like all the different strengths that I had, like all the amazing shit that I've done that could, like the compound experiences, right? That could propel me into like my ever new endeavors, right? Or whatever I was working on. So I really changed it. And when I did that and I was able to really identify the cool ass shit about myself and the mad skills that I had and even like the tenacity, like all of those things, it was so much more empowering, right? So then that allowed me to have the fuel of being like, well, why the fuck not me? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, then I had the attitude. Then I was like, oh no, why not me, right? Why not me? And so that's the thing is like sometimes we trip ourselves, not sometimes, a lot of times we trip ourselves up. And that's not to say that success also isn't impacted or influenced by, proximity to financial support resources and all sorts of other things. Like I know that, right? But the thing is if we also don't like take the time to like really to check ourselves and say like how we are like blocking our own shit, how we are moving further away from the center of our truth, further away from like the evolution and what we're aspiring to become, to bring into our lives, right? It's like it's going to be circles and circles and circles and circles. And when you just really commit to do the work and then just being like, oh man, it's me. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. I'm the bad guy. But the good thing is like you don't stay there that long. You're like, oh, I'm the bad guy. Just like you're going to check your BFF, check yourself. So really reflect upon it, right? When you're starting your thing, like if you're starting on social media, you're starting a new blog, podcast, business, things like that. Stay in your lane. It's okay to see other people's stuff, right? But it's like, wait, why me? Oh, and then you also then see, wait a minute, I could be wildly successful as well, okay? So admire other folks. And then when the tension, like I said, I had a little bit of jealousy and I had a little envious that would come up. Sometimes that's going to happen, right? It's because that speaks to you. That's saying that you really want something. You want it really, really, really bad. But instead of being like, oh, like I was doing, like, why not me? Like that, check yourself. That's just going to be like bad vibes coming right back to you. Check yourself, get it out of your system, reframe it, okay? Because there's enough for everybody. There's abundance of customers, there's abundance of clients, there's abundance of people, there's an abundance of resources, right? I want you to focus on that. That's all I had to say. Ooh, I'm at 8 minutes. That's perfect. I always say I want to be like under 10 minutes. I think that's all I really got to say. I'm going to finish drinking my cafecito. I'm here in bed. It's really cold today here in the Midwest. But you can see I used to live in the PNW in Seattle area. Go Hawks. But deep down inside, I'm going to tell you and be straight honest with you, I'll always be a Bears fan. I have the Super Bowl shuffle nonstop in my head and in my heart every year during football season. I believe one day the Bears will be doing the Super Bowl shuffle once again. All right. Thank you so much for tuning. I was about to kiss my coffee cup. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm raising my cafecito to you. And I'll be back next week. I can't wait. I have so much I want to share with you. I can't wait to keep on showing up, shining bright, and sharing words of wisdom. All right. Peace out. Till next time. Bye.